If you're thinking of getting your car windows tinted, then there are some things you need to know first. I'm Duncan from Auto Shine and Tint, and I'm here to tell you what those things are. To kick things off, let's talk about the different types of window film, because window tint shops in the UK do a really bad job of explaining that you've got more than one option. There are 3 main types. These are all suited to different needs. Let's go with the cheapest option first, and that's what we'd call a dyed window film. Now, if you've ever seen a window film go dark purple, covered in bubbles, things like that, that's going to be a dyed film. This can start to happen after 12 months with the cheaper films, but there are also good quality dyed window films that can last in excess of 10 years in the UK. The difference is all in the manufacturing process, so I won't bore you with the details, but some of these do come with a 10-year warranty, so if you're going with a dyed window film, you need to find one of those if you can. This film is what I'd recommend to you is if you're just trying to add some privacy and change the looks of your car. If that's all you want, then you're good to go with a dyed film. The next type of film is what we call a metallized film, and these, in basic terms, have a layer of metal within their construction that reflect the heat away before it enters the vehicle. Now, these aren't too common nowadays, and the reason is this layer of metal also reflects the mobile and radio signals away, reducing the signal quality inside the vehicle. Obviously not ideal. They've also got quite a reflective look. We don't actually stock these, and the reason is there's just better options out there nowadays. Finally, we've got our carbon and ceramic window films. Now, these films either have carbon or ceramic particles within their construction, and these particles reject the sun's infrared radiation. Now, if being compared to carbon, the ceramic films are the better performing. Then you've also got single layer and multi-layer ceramic. We'd always recommend multi-layer ceramic if you're going with one, especially if you're carrying dogs or children in the car, where it's ideal to keep as much heat out of that car as possible. Don't stress too much about brand names. Take 3M for an example, brand everyone recognises. They do make a cheap nasty film, but they also make several good ones. So just because you get a brand name doesn't mean anything without further details, so make sure you check. Next, we look at how dark you should tint your windows. Now, all window films come in various shades of tint, and they are described using VLT, and that is short for visible light transmission, and it's the percentage of light that the window film allows to pass through it. So, 20% VLT allows 20% of light to pass through it, meaning it's an 80% tint. The darkest available is 5% VLT, also known as limo tint, and then they go gradually lighter all the way to practically clear films of 70 and 80% VLT. If we speak to someone who dislikes window tints, we usually find they've had 5% in the past and it's been too dark for them, because these can be quite restrictive at night, so just bear that in mind when you're considering how dark you go. On cars, we find the most common VLT is 20%, and this usually matches the majority of car manufacturers' privacy glass. Although on SUVs, including Land Rovers, their factory glass is 15% VLT. It's just 5% darker, just because the windows are higher and slightly larger, so it gives you a bit more protection from the sun glare when you're sat inside. Before we move on, just bear in mind interior colour plays a big part of how dark the window tints look from outside the vehicle. A Land Rover with 15% VLT film with white leather will look much lighter than the equivalent car with black leather. Then you've got this type of car that has both. It just confuses things, but we work around that. Finally, what can you tint legally? We've created a separate video explaining in detail the laws in the UK, and a link to that is down below. But the question we get asked all the time is, can I tint my front windows and windscreen? All car windows come with a natural tint within the glass, so although they look clear, they are in fact tinted to the legal limit, and that in the UK is 70% VLT on the front door windows and 75% VLT on the windscreen. Because of this, you can't add much tint to the front windows, but we do have options available which are designed to reject the UV and the infrared radiation rays that we spoke about earlier. These films come in an 80% VLT, so they're basically clear, but they do make driving much more comfortable by reducing glare and temperature. An option we have available for your windscreen are the chameleon window films. Now these are mostly legal with a VLT of 84%. They come in a variety of colours, and not only do they look great, but they also reduce glare while driving. And this is great, especially at night time if you've got a vehicle approaching you with the modern style LED headlights. We naturally get tons of questions about window tints. It's what we do, and it's what we've done for over 2 decades now, so no one knows more about window film than us. So if you've still got questions, please drop us a message or get in touch and we'll be happy to help. Also, please check out the rest of the content on our channel. We've got loads up there. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see your car with us soon.